Manifesting by doing nothing. The power of non-resistance in quantum mechanics. It's the surrender phase. You have to know that real manifestation, really achieving your goals and your dreams, it really goes beyond our logical mind of what we were taught. It comes down to surrendering. Surrendering is the ability for you to give up how you are going to achieve your goals, when you are going to achieve your goals, if your goals will become reality. That's called surrender. Surrender is saying, this is out of my hands. I've done all I can, and now let me trust the process. When you can master that, the universe bends to your desires. Let's talk about how to achieve that state. I'm going to show you right now. So we have the silent manifester. Remember these keywords. The silent manifester, and we have the void, and we have quantum entanglement. Okay? Got it? Whoa, congratulations, Mark. I bought my mom scratches for her birthday yesterday, and all of them won. She was so happy. Good, good, good. Congratulations. All right. The silent manifester, keywords to write down: the void and quantum entanglement. These components are required for you to have knowledge on, so you could enter the state of surrendering. Surrendering is basically giving it to the silent manifester. The silent manifester is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is silently manifesting 24/7. It manifests based on observation, on feelings, on thoughts, on emotions. So the subconscious is taking the information. While you're creating a logical world, it's also creating another world where it's going to come in and take over the logical world. So you have to be aware of your silent manifester. And how do you fix your silent manifester? Fix what you are aware of. Fix what you've been watching and looking at. That's the silent manifester. The void. The void is the 0 point energy field. The void is where you is the point of no return. Once something gets into the void, you can't do anything about it. The void is the final step before your manifestation comes to reality. In the void is where you're going to feel all the weird emotions. You're going to feel chaos. You're going to feel unmotivated. You're going to feel a little depressed. You're going to give a little bit of doubt, because it's the void is just what it says. The void, nothing is happening. It seems like nothing is changing. You start to question your manifestation. You start to question it's a point where you're saying your synchronicities start decreasing. You may not see any synchronicities. It feels like the universe gave up on you and said, peace out. This is my, I'm just going to take you and I'm gone. Bye. Figure your own way. Get your own Uber and go manifest another way. That's the void. In the void, the reason you feel like that in the void, because when you're in the void, you are no longer in control. What's happening in the void is entanglement. Quantum entanglement now. Entanglement starts to take place because all the possible outcomes, all the possible things that you want, they are starting to become a physical thing. And you are experiencing the transcendent from the non-physical to the physical. So when you're in the void, your body and your nervous system have to get acclimated to it. And this is where you're going to feel all type of emotions. The void can last anywhere from days, weeks, months, even years. But remember, it's still the present. It's not it's not time, but I'm just showing you in logical thinking. But the void is there. So if you're in the void right now, you're good to go. Now, In order for you to get to the void, you have to surrender. If you don't surrender, you're not going to get to the point of manifesting what you want. So how do you surrender? You surrender by accepting the universal truths. And here are the two truths that will lead you to surrender. Truth number one, you are not fully in control of how and when your manifestation comes to you. It's truth number one. Truth number two, just because you can see it doesn't mean it's not working. Those are the two truths that will lead you to surrendering. Let's break those truths down. Truth, no particular order. Truth 2 or 1. I can't see it, so it must mean it's not there. The truth is, there are two levels of reality that exist right now for us. We have the physical, we have the non-physical. The truth of the matter is that everything that you are seeing right now is a tiny percent of the true reality. You are seeing about 2%. 98% of the world or reality is unavailable to you. And that is very important, because if 98% is unavailable to you, that means the real good stuff are happening behind the scenes. That's where you have to trust the process. And how do you know for sure that it's happening behind the scenes? Well, we know because we study the particles, we study the atom, and we know they are the building blocks of all physical matter, and they always exist in different states and in all different possible outcomes because of entanglement. So the fact that everything is entangled and everything comes from the non-physical to the physical, in that point of the non-physical, that is where the process is really happening. What you're seeing in the physical is a feedback from the non-physical. The non-physical is communicating with the physical and saying things are working even though you can't see them. You have to trust the process. Okay, the next truth we're going to break down: you are not always in control. And that goes back to the silent manifester, which is the subconscious mind. I call it the silent manifester because most of the time you're unaware of it, and it works 24/7. So when you're sleeping, it's working. When you're up, it's still working. Hence the silent manifester. The truth of the matter is, we are 97 to 98% controlled by the silent manifester. The subconscious mind is the part of us that dictates how we think, even what we think, and the habits we cultivate. So we are not in total control. We are more automatic programs from the subconscious. So if this is true, and this is what the research evidence and everything is showing us, that this is actually what is true, then that means you have a conscious mind which you can use to help change the silent manifester. So what you have to do, once you know this knowledge, you now put all your energy, your attention, your focus into programming the silent manifester. When you program the silent manifester the correct way, the silent manifester will reward you with what you want. If you don't program the silent manifester the correct way, someone else will program it for you. Hence, the matrix, your family, the media, whatever, you'll be programmed regardless. So might as well give it a program that works for you. Now, once the silent manifester has what's called a map of reality from your program, to program the silent manifester, different phases: emotions, feelings, state of being, visualizations, scripting, acting as if, subliminal programming. Continuously with repetition, with consistency and patience, the silent manifester accepts a new map of reality. That new map of reality now starts to take you for a ride. It takes you, the first part of the step of manifesting is you start to be in the blissful state. The blissful state is where you feel confident, motivated, inspired. You get up, you love to do it, you're feeling good. The blissful state includes your synchronicities, all the signs, things are going your way, and then it takes you to the void, where the opposite happens, where the synchronicities slow down, people look like they're turning on you, your life is turning upside down, your emotions are running all over the place. Look at Monica McDonald stepping in with the big lion. Wow. Right on cue, Monica McDonald. Thank you for that gift. So the silent manifester is going to take you for a nice date. He's going to wine you and dine you, and then he's going to ghost you. Right? So you're thinking, whoa, man, things are going so good. She stopped calling me, no text. He ghosted you. You didn't get ghosted. You entered the void. Thundercats. Whoa, yes, I like that. Remember the Thundercats? So a silent manifester now takes you to the void. He's dropping you at the void. When he leaves you at the void, that's where quantum entanglement comes in. And when quantum entanglement comes in, also the silent manifester now jumps over into the void and starts to work together with quantum entanglement. So while you think you've been ghosted, you think your dreams or desires are not coming in, you think the universe abandoned you, the universe is ready to throw you a surprise party. It's like a surprise. It's playing a role. It's going to make you feel like nothing's happening. It's going to make you feel like it's not working. That is a part of the process. So how many people got to the void and gave up? I'll bet you like 90%. If they had known this knowledge that I'm teaching you right now, everybody would end up manifesting what they want. They didn't teach you this because most people don't know this. Most teachers don't know about the void. Have you ever heard anybody else speak about the void? The silent manifester? Anybody? No, right? So I am giving you information that's coming from the source, through physics, through how the universe works. Yes, Monica McDonald gave a great gift, the lion. That's a few $100s, I'm thinking. She's abundant. Abundance is your birthright. The more you give, the more you receive. Remember that. She's able to give it because she's going to receive it. All right. So let me technically break down more about the void. What do you do during the void? Nothing. The void is the surrendering state. When you're in the void, whatever you try to do, it's going to boomerang on you. You can't mess up the void. If you're in the void and you're trying to do something, you're just going to create more void. The void is do not touch, hands off. You are not qualified. You cannot do anything in the void. The void is working and doing its own thing. The void is what we call the 0-point energy field. In the 0-point energy field is where energy and all the accumulation of everything starts to come. It's empty space, teeming with energy, particles popping in and out of existence. Quantum entanglement joins the party, says, hey man, I'm in the void, what's my job? Silent manifester said, quantum entanglement, go ahead and go get that over there, bring it over here. Quantum entanglement says, all right, I got the car, I got the job, I got the career, what do you want me to do? He says, all right, hold up, let me go over here and get what Mark wanted from his consciousness, from his thoughts, from his feelings. I'm going to bring that here. All right, go ahead, quantum entanglement, lock up with that. Quantum entanglement says, entangled. Silent manifester says, all right, 0-point energy field. Start doing yourself, start doing your thing and give it power, energy. Remember, for something to come into existence, it has to have an ample supply of energy. Things pop into reality through momentum, through energy. They call it the guard particle, the glue. The guard particle is the particle that holds the atoms, the protons, that gives them their mass, that gives them the energy to become what they are. Without the guard particle, everything ceases to exist. It's the glue. So it's similar to that. So what happens now, the energy from the field, from the 0-point field, merges with the entanglement of your desires. The silent manifester now sits there, watches it accumulates, gathers it, brings it back, and then you come out of the void and your manifestation happens when you least expect it. That's the surrendering phase. You have to get to the surrendering phase by what I just told you. By understanding you don't control everything. You are ran and run by your silent manifested the subconscious mind. Also, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. If you can get those two things in your head, you will be in the surrender phase, because now you'll see what's ahead when something happens, and trust me, you will know when you're in the void. Everybody has been there. You're probably in the void right now. Okay? So if you're in the void, you are at the final step to manifesting. As I said, the void could last days. I'm looking at comments here. It could last months. It could last years. Time is irrelevant. Why does it last days for some? Why does it last months for some? Why does it last years for others? It comes down to the individual's ability to give up, to surrender. Some people take longer to surrender. Some people can surrender in a day. Some people can surrender in a couple weeks, in a couple months. Some people can surrender in a couple years. If you want to shrink the time frame from the void, how fast, how able are you to surrender, detach, and trust the process? If you do that, you speed up your manifestation. Well, Mark, if time is not real, okay, as you claim, as you're saying, then why am I speeding up something if it's going to happen anyways? That's a good question. But here's the answer. It's a trick. It's not that time, it's not that a year or a month or a week exists. It's just a perception to you and I in your own consciousness. So 1 year to someone else may seem like a couple months. A couple months to someone else may seem like a couple weeks. But here's what's really happening to slow it down or speed it up. When you are fighting against what is, and when you are trying to control it, you are going to also create resistance. So when you bring resistance into the void, you are messing up the flow, and it takes a little bit longer. So that's why. So the void likes to work. When you're in the void, it works better with flow. If you're in there discombobulating it, you know, checking in on it, second guessing yourself, trying a new method, figuring out if I'm doing something wrong, over analyzing, those are all side effects that you have to avoid. So the void is real, my people, my manifestors, my tribe, chosen ones. It's real, it's happening. It's just, and that's how it always goes, always. Listen, my example, when I started to manifest the lottery, I was in the blissful state. Everything felt good. Started seeing my M3 car everywhere. I seen my yellow car. Started getting my synchronicities. Started buying my lottery tickets. Started winning a couple dollars, free tickets. Everything was going good. People I started talking about winning the lottery. Started about cars. Man, I was in all the signs. I was in my blissful state, man. My blissful state went for about 6 to 7 months, and then I hit the void. But I didn't know it was the void back then. I started to not really feel like visualizing anymore. I started to not really care. I started to doubt it was going to happen. I started a lot of little chaos in my life. I started to lose a little motivation. However, I still was consistent in my tickets because my intention was still there. I started to just figure out things and say, maybe the universe has something better. I had to do anything and everything to keep my mind from giving up. And then got to the point where I was forced to surrender. I was forced to surrender because I couldn't control it. I had only two options. I either stopped playing, give up on my dream, or I either continued playing and wish for the best and let it go. So my mindset was, I might as well keep playing because I've already invested so much into this. What's the worst that could happen? I don't win. What up? Fine. I don't care. I'm just gonna keep going. I continued in the void, and then I got to my manifestation. My void lasted around 7 to 8 months. Combine them together, a little bit over a year, and I got my manifestation. Every single human being is going to experience the same system. It's no different for any. There's nobody that will manifest everything in the blissful state. All must go into the void. Got it? Now you know, and knowing is power and knowledge, and now you can use it. Here's the book I wrote about manifesting and winning the lottery. Get your copy here, How to Win the Lottery Using Quantum Mechanics. And this is the cheat code to mastering the game of life. Both available on Amazon, paperback. These books are the best sellers right now, and you guys can testify to that because a lot of you got these books. And also my one-on-one coaching programs open now for you, where I work with you one-on-one. Get in. Spaces are filling up. All right. Yes, you can watch this replay whenever I upload it to, I think, was it YouTube or something? Got it? So now you guys have implemented a knowledge that you're going to apply now. Now you have real knowledge about how manifestation works. So now when you're in your void, and many of you are, you can relax now. You can just wait. So now you know that everything is happening around you is happening for you, not to you. Right? So enjoy your void, man, because it's the last step for you to manifest. Enjoy the chaos, because it's not going to last long. Enjoy the tough times, because the great times are going to come. Enjoy the losing, because you're going to start winning again. That's the void. Just chill, surrender. It's not forever, it's temporary. It's the tuning, it's the accumulation, it's everything coming together. And then, boom, you are freedomly, successfully, happily, money, abundance, all that is yours. Now you see why you almost gave up. Now you're not going to give up, right? Because now you know I'm in the void. It's science, it's physics, it's how the universe works. You and I can't change it. So enjoy it and surrender, because it's a done deal. All right? See you next time.